It's TGIF, you're welcome to Breakfast Central here on News Central Television. Your one-stop shop for information, news, and the right conversations to start your day right. I am Gbenga and Olive, and we have quite a lot in store for you today.
All right, welcome to Breakfast Central. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I am Olive Emodi. A number of conversations will be explored. I want to urge you to please join us to be a part of the conversation via X at News Central TV. If there's any updates that you feel that you'd like to share with us, we'll be glad to take this updates, especially as we look at the fire that affected Ifako-Ijaiye Hospital in Lagos. If you're an eyewitness, you saw what happened, we're very open to getting feedback from you as well. But TGIF, thank God it's Friday.
Let's start with the first wake-up conversation.
Won't you even talk? You just want to go straight into wake-up conversation. Let's celebrate that today is Friday first now.
Jesus is coming soon. Everything has to be moving fast.
Yesterday was Thursday. Today is Friday. Let us stop.
Okay, let's relax. Yeah.
What happened to Johansson yesterday?
Why are we starting?
Thank God it did not be Johansson yesterday at Town Hall.
Wow, it was a hula baloo. Different political hallelujah boys trying to impress who they are trying to impress. It was a different town hall. We've had town halls all over the country, but when it got to Rivers people's own, they decided to take matters. No, we will not talk.
Into their own hands.
They had to take the intervention of our dear MD. When they now saw his presence, things now relaxed. But it went on for too long. I also felt sorry for Johansson. He was
when he decided
trying to play the diplomat, but they didn't listen to him. They no agree. It was a very different town hall.
All right.
I really wish we can see the video.
I really wish. Okay, we'll try and see what we can do if we can play the video. But now let's go on a very quick break, and when we come back, we'll look at wake-up conversations. Stay with us. Welcome back to Breakfast Central. It's time for wake-up conversations. We talked about the town hall that happened yesterday in Port Harcourt. First of all, shout out to our River State audience, everyone watching us all the way from River State. Thank you for being a part of of News Central, for loving us, loving our content, and showing up for the town hall yesterday. I believe that we have clips from the town hall that we can share to show you what's happening. And I want to also say a big shout out and thank you to News Central team for always going where the story is and bringing in the feedback from the audience.
TV used to be unidirectional, but now we're feeling the pulses both ways.
All right, let's take a look at what happened yesterday at the Rivers Town Hall.
I'm sure let's settle down. Ladies and gentlemen, please, let's settle down. Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, remember we gave the rules. Remember we gave the rules. Remember we gave the rules here. Please, let's... Honorable. Honorable members, please, we would... All right, so... Hold on. Honorable members, please, let's take our seats. Honorable members, please, let's take our seats, please. Please, we are broadcasting live and would like each and every one of us to please. There are ways we can respond to this. We have the power, which is the microphone. Please, we have the microphone. We have the microphone, please. Please, we have the microphone. Please, honorable members, please, let's sit down. Our distinguished guests, please. We have...
And that is an excerpt from what happened yesterday. Of course, there was more. We only just played that because I told you about how things almost went out of hand.
Emotional when you're discussing politics, because people are on different sides of the aisle. And the gentleman said what wasn't comfortable and palatable. He has a right to say, to express himself. That's why it's a town hall. You're not going to, everybody's not going to say what you want to hear. And the other gentlemen didn't agree with him, and they said he's not going to talk. Interesting developments, but I'm happy it was settled. It didn't descend into violence or fisticuffs. So kudos. And of course, like you said earlier, kudos to News Central management for always taking the news to the people and giving them a chance to express themselves and grievances, speaking to all the stakeholders involved. Yesterday's town hall was about the state of democracy in Rivers State and other issues such as pipeline vandalism, security, and things that have to do with the
state of Rivers State. But you know what? I even think that the argument and the disagreement that we saw there was proof that we're doing something right. Because when you bring different people to the table to have a conversation, they will all not agree.
Of course.
They all have different sides, which is why we're there, to hear the different sides of the argument and to ensure that we bring them all to the center. So that's exactly what has happened. Different sides of the argument have come together, different people on the different sides of the divide have come together to share what their thoughts are, what their concerns are, and of course the questions and conversations. There's the political angle, there's the insecurity state, but News Central, again, will always go where the story is. Today we're in Rivers State, tomorrow we'll be somewhere else where the voices of the people need to be amplified.
Yesterday we were at Ifako-Ijaiye Hospital in Lagos, saw development where a fire incident occurred there. But let's watch the video and then we'll come back to discuss the issues. Well, not a very palatable situation, but kudos to the men of the Lagos State Fire Service. They were able to put out the fire, and as reported, there were no casualties. But this raised a lot of questions about
how did the fire come about?
Safety, preparedness, how did the safety come about? How did the fire come about?
Yeah, there's still investigations ongoing regarding the fire. The good thing is that nobody was hurt. It happened yesterday. We hear that it was reported at 3:20 p.m. at the facility which is located along Iju Road. And then after a while, things were brought into order. We hear that it was just a minor fraction of the facility that caught fire, and that it was quickly brought under control. The Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service described it as a minor fire, and they said it was it was confined to a nursing room on the second floor. So that they've sorted it out. Normal operations have resumed. Medical services to the public have continued, and that no casualties have been recorded. But again, like we said, an investigation into the cause of the fire is being, conducted. But when it comes to fire and fire safety, my worry oftentimes here in Nigeria is the fact that I don't know if we have sufficient firefighting operatives and facilities.
Even in the building facilities themselves.
Yes, so in the building facilities,
are there fire hydrants?
Exactly.
How much training do you do?
So those are the things I want exactly. How many people know how to use a
remember
fire
where we worked before? We used to have fire drills.
Fire drills from time to time.
And then people would assemble at the muster point. So you need to drum this into the consciousness of the staff that in case, it's not a case of God forbid. I mean, nobody prays for it, but you should be prepared for eventualities. This sort of things can happen. So you prepare, so it's not a double disaster.
Yeah.
So you prepare the mind of your staff and let them have health and safety training once in a while Every adult should be able to give mouth-to-mouth resuscitation,
CPR.
CPR,
I should know
things like that.
fire etiquette. Like when there's a fire disaster,
when there's a fire,
what do you do?
You're not running back to carry your Birkin. You're running to save your life.
Safety, exactly.
Yes.
I have, like you mentioned, so my current apartment where we live, every flat has to have a fire extinguisher. Every flat has a fire extinguisher. So it's something that when I got there, I was very impressed by that because I thought, okay, these are safety standards. Although now, if you start to enforce that, landlord is going to add like 500,000 naira to your house rent.
Thank God for FRSC too.
For fire charges.
That forces us to put fire extinguishers
in our cars as well, yes. But yes, good news.
So please, if there's any, even me sometimes, maybe I'm making breakfast, and I see that sometimes if you're making all this food, if you're frying with palm oil,
fire will come out of the pan.
Fire will come out because of. Sometimes I'm also a chef. If you don't know this,
must be nice.
My spectacular dishes. I remember one time fire just came out. I had to leave my iPhone 16 and run away. But it's a story for another day.
No, that is not.
Is iPhone 16 out yet?
That's how you know that it's a big fat lie. Anyway, so yes, we hope that there'll be more conversations, and maybe that's something to consider on the show. Fire protocols, teach people. For example, in this scenario where Gbenga talks about the fire coming out of the pan, what's the first thing you do? Do you flee, or do you just take a pot or a lid and quickly trap the fire so you starve it of oxygen? What happens when your body's on fire? But let's move on to our next conversation this morning on Wake Up Conversation. And there is the possibility of a London press conference where certain high-profile ministers will be.
This is called Don't Angry Me. And it's making me angry because just last week,
Buy Nigeria.
the paint for signing that Buy Nigeria executive order has not even dried. And you are taking the scorecard and announcing your achievements in London. Tell me, in what universe does this make sense? How can this appeal? How do you even defend this in the first place? Because the ministers are Nigerians. We're all Nigerians. Your constituents are Nigerians. So why do you need to go to London?
So let me just even tell them what it is. It is called the President Bola Tinubu Midterm Legacy Project Review Committee, and his project coordinator is Bode Adeyemi, and who announced on Tuesday that the event seeks to reshape global perceptions of Nigeria's governance under Tinubu's leadership. Conference is expected to feature a high-profile delegation, including the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, and the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo. However, Minister of Budget and Economic Planning has said that Atiku Bagudu, that is, he has sang an optimistic tune about how Nigeria's economy is experiencing significant progress, driven by bold reforms, improved coordination, and a renewed focus on national priorities. Again, coming back to the conversation about why does this need to happen here? Why does this need to happen abroad? Yesterday we talked about how 30% of Lagos State workers who went abroad for training jackpot inside.
Olive is not what you're inferring. Don't go there. These are ministers now. You don't expect them to jackpot. Lagos is a state. This is federal.
I'm not inferring. But what we're saying, what I was trying to drive at was that when we were analyzing that story, what we said was that, was it really necessary? I remember you saying they should use that funds to fix the street lights, and that we can have Zoom. The world is a global village. A number of these things can be done from a local standpoint.
Also looking at the present economic realities of the ordinary Nigerian. Nigerians are angry, they are hungry. There's a cost of living crisis. And when you talk about reading the room, read the room.
Exactly.
This is very insensitive at this point in time to think you have to take your ministerial
if you now decide tomorrow that you want to travel to London, nobody has a problem with you.
Yeah,
it is the money that you work for. You are a regular citizen. But I don't know if government officials don't realize that regardless of whether you think, oh, it's my salary and my remuneration I'm using to do this thing, you are a public figure. And so the picture that is being painted as a public figure is a picture that is very important. And when there are economic challenges within the country, and you're going abroad to have a conference to review,
it's not absolutely necessary.
To review the administration of the current president, it tells the populace that you're disconnected from their reality. that even when you say that they should cut down spending and you're talking about everybody fastening their seatbelts, you're not planning to do the same.
And we're in the middle of serious crisis, security, economic cost of living crisis. Maybe from the World Bank optics and GDP figures, the economy grew by a bit last year. Is that why it's not yet Uhuru? We're not yet at the promised land. If we want to write out the list of challenges that we're facing, it's a lot. So this is not the time to even celebrate your achievements. Fine, the ministers went, they were in Abuja at the National Press Center. They gave out their score sheets. Journalists took notes. We know what they've done. Kudos, fantastic. You've done a good job. It's the jury should be for Nigerians. Nigerians should decide, not you. Okay, you did well amongst yourself. Now you want to travel and clap for yourself and, big up your egos and say, well, we're doing very well.
Yeah, I don't want to believe that this thing, I want to believe that there's something that we're misunderstanding here, that this isn't the
I've looked at all the angle. I didn't see anything, no.
I want to believe that I want to believe that we're misunderstanding something here. But then again, just to reiterate, that nobody's saying that they can't go on holiday. The president himself has come under backlash for the number of foreign trips he's made, not because people don't think he can afford it, but because when you are a public official serving as a public official during the duration of your service, you must be careful of your body language. You must be careful of not conveying the wrong message.
And they've asked ordinary Nigerians to tighten their belts and be prudent in their spending. Somebody even said, "Monsieur, eat spaghetti. Are you Italian?"
I remember that man with that very famous picture on
He's now very, very
so if our administration is one that tells us to tighten and fasten our, tighten our belts, we should be seeing that leadership is from the top to the bottom.
Lead by example.
Exactly. So these are and when people come hard on the administration, it's not because they're looking for things to criticize. It's because you can't do something that is completely different from what you're saying. There has to be a correlation of some sort. Just last week, we're talking about the Buy Niger policy, where they're saying Nigerian first. You're using Nigerian talent, and even if we have to import, we're ensuring that there's a clause in the contract that ensures that the technology is retained here in Nigeria, transferred to Nigeria. So we want to see that as well. Government officials need to start thinking about creative ways to have their meetings in Abuja. You mentioned the Kogosi Warm Springs, Kajuru Castle, go to some of the tourist centers in Nigeria and have their meetings there.
Beach. Say they can't go to
Oniru Beach. Have their reviews there.
Oniru Beach. I need to update you. There's no more.
There's no more. Oh yeah, I forgot. Sorry.
Destroyed it with landmark. Coastal Road. And this is also demarcating Nigeria, because you think, London is the best place to do it. And if Mr. Peter Obi talks now, they say it's demarcating Nigeria. The government is demarcating Nigeria by trying to take this ministerial retreat or whatever they're doing in assessing themselves. The assessment should be by Nigerians to London. Why London? I mean, that's the biggest. That's the biggest indictment you could do to yourself. Why do you have to take this to a foreign land, not even an African country? We're not even showing African solidarity. It's London, it's Paris. Wow. Well, we deserve better.
We certainly hope for better, and we hope that this is a conversation that we don't need to constantly talk about every, now and then. The options, again, like we did mention, would be that they should ensure that they have their meetings in the country. But let's take a few reactions from social media, see what Nigerians are saying about this. Nedoani says, Tinubu's cabinet members are heading to London for an international press conference to speak on their achievements since 2023. 1, they can't hold the press conference in Abuja or Lagos because NEPA will take the light. 2, to avoid mosquito biting international correspondents,
don't want to have malaria.
To London. 3, to avoid purported Boko Haram embarrassment, London is a better alternative. 4, fuel is so expensive in Nigeria, and to make sure nothing stops dignitaries and respondents from attending the briefing, London is cheaper. 5, press members wouldn't like to experience police brutality anywhere in Nigeria, so London is a better alternative because of zero police brutality. 6, Nigerians can watch the briefing on NTA. When we need nuclear scientists for a simple experiment, there will be nowhere to be found. Science students that can't save Nigeria from the comfort of their home. Sophia Kwa. Oh yeah, who has video of that? No, please. Can we move on to the next tweet if we have another? Several ministers.
The famous Osarige.
Several ministers in President Bola Tinubu's administration, including FCT Minister Nyesom Wike and Works Minister Dave Umahi, are set to travel to London for an international press conference aimed at highlighting the administration achievements. Now, this is the highlight because it's not too wild.
I'm telling you.
Love it. Replying to Osarige, Uchenna Ikechukwu says, what achievements? Nigerians are literally dying of hunger. Families can't eat a square meal a day. Patients can't afford basic medications. Food inflation is over 300% from when Tinubu took over power in 2023. What exactly are their achievements? Governance is about improving the lives of your citizens. Anything short of that is deceit and propaganda.
No, but honestly, is it that the guys in government don't... Okay, I've never seen or heard this kind of finish, but it's on record what a thriving country with its economy that was taken by thieves, and in about 10 years, everything was gone, including shame. I mean, it's really sad. The 2-year achievements of Tinubu shall be broadcast from Lancaster House, London, where our founding fathers and mothers negotiated, gathered 6-7 years ago to negotiate
new independence. Interesting. I mean, these are some of the reactions that Nigerians are having to those who have tweeted about it and put up their thoughts about it.
But seriously, our government officials need to be more sensitive.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was an advisor to one of them and this came up, the optics are bad. The people are not in the mood for all of this, and you're doing it. It's a slap on the face of Nigerians.
As
There's
for me,
nothing short of it.
I'm hoping that this will inspire management to send us to London to broadcast Breakfast Central live
from Lancaster House, where mosquito will not bite our correspondents.
And where NEPA will not take the lives.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. Anyway, that would be all that we have this morning on Wake Up Conversations.
Olive, I'm sorry to burst your bubble. They will not send you to Lancaster House.
Where would they send me to?
They will send Umaru Kirawa. The north is closer to London. You know, if you're flying to London, you have to go through north. So Umaru Kirawa would be going to Lancaster House. I'm sorry.
Then what will happen to Afia Hilgan, our international correspondent?
Go to Rome to cover the Pope's the Pope's Mass on Sunday. Yes.
Oh my goodness. But let us know what your thoughts are. What we're seeing is majority of the Nigerians disapproving, criticizing the administration for that potential or purported move to go to London to review President Bola Ahmed's administration since 2023. Are there maybe any positive sides to this argument that you can think of? Let us know. Tweet at us individually or at News Central TV to let us know your thoughts. And maybe before the end of the show, we'll take some of your reactions. But now let's share with you what our top stories are this morning on Breakfast Central. This morning on Breakfast Central, we'll be looking at a bill to mandate voting, as this bill has killed second reading in the House of Reps, meaning that you must vote by fire or by force.
Or you go to jail.
The Reps probe jam over 2025 UTME, technical glitch and mass failure. President Tinubu okays deployment of armed forest guards. And looking away from insecurity, Senate passes bill to establish National Agency for Malaria Eradication. We'll look at the front pages of the paper and bring you the stories there this morning. Join us for all these and more.